Yes, people, welcome back to another video. I just got back from Newcastle, just home, couple hours to go, and tonight we're doing a match review show. And we got to Pete. How you doing, man?
Very well, thanks, John. Yourself?
Yeah, man, it's not free bad, not free bad. Just got back and it's been really well and had a great weekend and just a quiet one sort of thing, really, me last sort of thing. So yeah, she's really well and yeah, she misses as well, by the way. So So there you go. So guys, if you like the video, like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. If you like to super chat, then you know exactly what to do. Just give what the channel is worth. And if you'd like to comment, remember it's just 99p. The links are in the description as well. We're still waiting for Cal as well. So Pete, give us a little breakdown on yesterday's defeat against the mighty Man City.
We did well in parts, but again, we're just wasteful with chances once again, unfortunately. We're not creating them. We're being very wasteful with them as well.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about Callum Wilson again because I'm sorry,
yeah, man.
We've said it all along. We've said it, you've said it, I've said it. He's done. He's done for me, unfortunately. So, and yep, I think Eddie Howe got his team selection a bit wrong. I don't think Wilson should definitely not have started. And I don't think Miggy should have started as well. I think it was a little bit harsh on ASM. And I think Gordon should have started on the right-hand side. I've got to say, because I thought Miggy yesterday did sod all for me. So it wasn't bad. It could have been worse. 2-0. I mean, I didn't think Man City were really great as well, I've got to admit. I mean, I thought their midfield wasn't as good. I didn't think De Bruyne, Gundogan, all of that, I've got to admit. Their front three were great, did well, though. Foden, Haaland and Grealish did play very well for them. And that was the thing that helped them with the goals, unfortunately. The way I was disappointed with how we let Foden cut all the way in. No one tried. Botman tried to stop the ball, but again, it's unlucky once again. And the goal from Bernardo Silva, I mean, I was seeing it first. This lad wants to be away. Can you see him scoring? Well, what happened? He went, scored a cracker goal. Great player he is. So, Manchester City took the chances. We unfortunately didn't. We were just wasteful once again, I'm afraid.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what it is, right? They got quality on the bench. We haven't got quality on the bench at all whatsoever. That's the difference. And this is why, in my opinion, we have got to spend big in the summer. And that's what we're telling. We've got to spend big in the summer if we're going to get anywhere near those teams like Man City's, Man United's, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea. Forget Chelsea this season, but we have got to spend if you want to get anywhere close to that. And I'm not going to lie. People are saying that, you don't spend that much. Yeah, I think we need to in the summer.
We need to, unfortunately. We've got so much deadwood that needs shifting out still. And they need replacing. We've got players coming out of contract. Ryan Fraser's going to be out the door as well because he's not committed anymore to this football club. So that'll be good to get 80,000 off the wage bill, free that up. We know Chris Wood, that'll free at least 100 grand up. And all the other players that are coming to the end of contracts, Richie, Dummett, your players like them who are definitely away come the end of the season. So it's going to free up the wage bill and free up some space, but we've got to get our business done in the window.
Absolutely, but he's also the owner come out and see it. Excuse me, come out and see it that they got on to phase 2 of buying players in the summer. Eddie Howe is going to be thinking, you know what, we need some players come through the door. He is too loyal to his players, for the likes of Wilson, for the likes of Miggy, to the likes of Sean Longstaff, and the likes of a couple of other players as well. He's too loyal. He needs to be ruthless now, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, he's done well to say to Fraser, right, you're not committed anymore. Off to the under-23s, you go with them.
Thank you.
Until come the end of the season, that's goodbye for you. But now he's going to have to stop being a bit harder and now clamp down and says, right, if you're not performing up to the standards you should be, you're getting dropped for the next game. And you need to do that now because you cannot persist with players who are underperforming. Wilson, again, I mean, once this is his stats after the World Cup, 1 goal, 1 assist. That is not good enough at all for a number 9 at this club. Now, what is you just wonder what's happened? Has the injuries now caught up with him? Or has the illness he caught over in the World Cup that's caught up with him? Or is he just not performing up to the standards? But at least you've still got to try and give it. All I see Wilson do on Saturday, he was just trying to back into his players, back into the opposition players. No attempt to try and win the ball. And didn't get me started with that chance he missed. I'm sorry, like, that's right in front of goal. And he absolutely miskicks it completely. I can't believe that.
I have to agree with you there, Pete. Honestly, man. And even we last said, she started to support Newcastle, but she never grew. She did 2 games. She even said that Callum Wilson's confidence is absolutely shot. When she comes out and say things like that, then you know you got a problem. But we go for the comments anyway, guys. Please keep these comments coming in. Hit the likes as well, please. Do follow PD Padlock on this channel as well. Still for Cal come on as well. So he has plenty to say about yesterday's game. So big up to Mason, by the way. How's Anfield, John? Mate, number 1, I haven't been there. Number 2, I'm going to stop reading his comments soon, like if he carries on like this, let's be real. No top 4 for Newcastle. Sorry, it's Liverpool's spot. They're on fire. Quality always win. Liverpool have 6 players who can score on a dime. We have none. Jordan, I'll have to agree with you, mate. This is why we need to spend big in the summer. Let's be real. The squad, I don't think we're ready for Champions League, but people presuming that we get Champions League this season. You've got 2 games in hand. If you do make Champions League, that's got to be we'll be very, very lucky with the squad we've got to nowhere near quality. Excuse me. Your team's been slaughtered. No, Mason. Macy's team's been slaughtered. John, I bet you absolutely gutted after hammering. After that hammering, you precisely United took tonight off. You talk about Newcastle United, Harry. Have you got the wrong team?
What I will say is it's knocked off 5th place, okay. But what I'm going to say is, where's all those cocky Man United fans that said after they won the Carabao Cup, we've won it all? Well, I'm sorry, get absolutely obliterated by Liverpool, who have not had the greatest all seasons. Well, there's no way you're going to be winning. You're going to be winning other trophies or other cups, or the cups playing like that.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
That was embarrassing, didn't it?
I know they've got some good Man U fans, but the rest of them, some are just so cocky, real talk. Before we come to Carl, go through some comments as well. They're flying in. Jason X, I've got you, mate. We can kiss the top 4 goodbye. Eddie, how we come good again. Only a matter of time before we start banging in the goals, and who knows, we could surprise a few by finishing the top 4 if we go on an excellent run of form. It has to start now. We've got Wolves at home for us to win. We must win those 2 if we have any hopes in getting Champions League football. And Isak has to start with Wilson. We'll comment on later on. Great to see Liverpool beating United 7-0 today, John. Wow. Big up to Jay again. Yep, he had his chances there. Must be dropped. Time to ditch info to wing outs too. Murphy came on, put a couple of quality crosses into the box. Finally, he's putting the quality balls into the box. Finally. Good evening to Ches. Big up to Ches. Bruno Fernandes was disgraced in that game. I don't know what happened there. But if it was, then that's no surprise at all whatsoever. If we are to finish the top 4 of the season, you need to pick up 3 points to the likes of Wolves, Forest, Leicester, and West Ham. Anything but 3 points seem not good. How we got to start scoring, mate? It's as simple as that. As much as I hate losing out of the top 4, I took some last watching Eric Seven Hag. Yes, he wasn't very happy, was he? Even to Clarkey, even to Harry again, and Eric Hag is man. He's double 7 right, 0 goals, 0 assists, and 7 goals conceded. And Jets think it's hilarious. really needed a Man U win. That's in case because Liverpool overtook us anyway. Mac is getting beat 5-1, and at Stoke and Liverpool getting beat Man 7-0, so left the mood. Gale scored twice, by the way.
Yep.
However, Liverpool has 4 away games out of 5 coming up, some tough ones too. At home to Arsenal as well. Forget what Liverpool Spurs are doing. Our main focus is needing picking up maximum points in our matches. If you are to have any horse finishing the season top 4, that's an Eddie. Newcastle will Nick Pope a new deal with 100k a week before bonuses. That's according to Daily Mail. Guardiola said in his interview that Newcastle threats is not a surprise. There is a reason why they're in the Carabao Cup final and a lot of minutes they were better than United. This team and the club, and one of them as well, even to Leslie. Great to have me back, John. Yes, thank you, Leslie. And Carl, I know you're smiling, you're loving it. Give us a little breakdown on yesterday's game, mate.
I was a bit harsh on Twitter last night. I was just passionate in it, just in the moment. I was unhappy with Eddie's lineup from the get go. I expected the defeat when I seen the starting 11. But I think we did all right. I mean, especially Lascelles. I think he and I seen him in the lineup. I was like, oh, you are kidding me. But he did all right. I've got to give him his dues. I think he held Holland well, and he did well. But I wasn't happy with the lineup, mate. I thought we could do more. You seen the changes, what the difference made in them changes, mate. Like when he brought Isak and Max on, Trippier just gave the ball away. I think if that doesn't happen, that game was changing, man. It was
poor,
changing.
Man,
oh, mate, honestly. But yeah, it's disappointing. But now that it was yesterday, I've come to the realization that I've realized like we've been on a good run and we're miles off, mate. We're miles off top 4, and it's just kicking in now. Like I'm realizing that we aren't that good yet. It's going to take time. Look at City; it took them years. Took them years, mate, to get to where they are. I just think we were on, on this massive high horse that we thought this team was unreal and we're going to do great things. When the reality is, it's going to take time to get to where we want to be. And disappointing, but let's hope now he realizes Isak needs to start over Wilson against Wolves, and these changes that we all want start happening, because goals is what we need, and it's not happening with this lineup that he's putting out.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you all the way. You just mentioned Kieran Trippier there. I thought he was poor yesterday. I can't lie. He was poor. I'm not going to lie. The next few years will be a threat for the title. I think we'll be in a title race next year, or maybe the season after that. Big up to Jez again. Forza had Lascelles there yesterday. I can't lie. I thought he did a repeat.
Yeah, I thought he did, actually. I thought he dealt with Holland very well at times, I thought. So, yeah, I thought I was good because you know what Lascelles, he's been down the pecking order. We've said he's not good enough for this club, but I thought he made it quite a name for himself yesterday. I really thought he did.
I'm going to have to agree with you, man. I mean, he did a brilliant standing tackle on big Erling Haaland yesterday. That's a great tackle. And I think he's solid yesterday for me. I think that's his best game for a while. I know he's not been in the team, but I thought Lascelles, he's not my player, but I tell you something, I think he did an army yesterday. And praise him when they do well, and I will absolutely rate them if they don't perform. That's me. First, a question. Hi, Jez. What goal did you leave at Sinclair? Mason, I'm not a United fan, okay? Wake up. And then Tony as well. Big up to Tony, by the way. I hope you're okay, mate. And good show today, mate. Again, doing well. Please help Tony get to 1,000 ASAP. How did it get? It's one as well. It's another one as well. So you think it was Alpha and Ninef. Oh man, I absolutely love it, man. Big up to Ian, by the way. I hope you're okay, my guy. Hope you have a fantastic evening. And good evening to you as well, Davey. I hope you're fine. No surprises, did well against Liverpool. And everyone saying hi, even to Paul. Everyone saying hi to people as well, which I think is great. And then let's just chat to Davey. They both get along together, don't they? They really do. Keep it going. How is Edinburgh, Tony? Tony, I'm sure will tell you. There you go, 7-0. Big up, John. You know me late, but I'll rewind. Brian, big up to you, mate. Big up to the cup, mate. Got one for Mags. Toon just woke up and seen the Man U score, and he is absolutely smiling. And he's doing very well. I must have left that quick, didn't I? Whoosh. I watched the Hearts game, Cool made a cracking shot, but hit that it's getting better. I hope you do well. I really do hope you do well. What's the on game, Davey? Totally agree. Bowdy, 20 min, and time to rest Callum. Arrest who's back on for Stephanie. What's your take on that one then, Cal? Stephanie's comments. She's bang on money.
Oh, bang on. I think it should have happened a couple of weeks ago, mate. I'm just worried that Eddie's got his favourites, you know. I know you see it a lot online and that, but I'm starting to believe it. Like, he's got his favourite. Like, how many games is it going to take to make these changes that are so obvious to everyone else? Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Steph. We all want it, not just me and you or John or whatever. We all want it, and fingers crossed we do get it against Wolves, because we need it, man. We need goals, and yeah, we need Isak starting ASAP.
I tell you what, though, as well. Do you think his confidence is shot? By the way, I can't lie. And I tell you something now, right? I mean, he needs to be dropped. I mean, what does Isak have to do to get into the team? Let's be real. And you know what it is, right? He cannot be the happy sort of thing. Like, you know, Euros coming up next year. He also plays as much as possible. Do check out Stephanie's Twitter. Do follow on Twitter, Mrs. Neely. Mrs. Neely. That's the Twitter account as well. Do follow us, or she'll follow us back. It's kind of been threatened by the fact 60 mil forward. Isak's back to full fitness. Well, the thing is, though, that's down to Eddie. It feels like it, but it's just not good enough. I can't lie. Humpty Dumpty sat on a rock called Bo Beat was. I'm not going to read that, Mark. Sorry, mate. I'm not going to read that. I nearly fell for it. That's on Tony's channel. I hope James is top of Newcastle shopping this lad. Scary. I hope that's the case. You could do him, by the way. We got to Tony. We'll also be a bench player next year. Evening to Joe's. Hope you're okay. And even to I Love Coffee as well. And Man U fans doing live streams talking to you, PD, apparently. Get their names. Tell us about it. I don't think Wilson's fallen due to feel threatened by Isak. He wants another striker. I think, excuse me, someone else is happening. We don't know. I think there's something else wrong here, and that's from Chairs. Well, I think.
John.
Go for it. Go for it. He's probably got a phone call there. Do apologise.
John, Brad's asked if he said he could jump on in 10 minutes. Like, if you want to get Brad on.
Who's that? Brad? Yeah. No problem, mate. I'll get Brad on a bit as well. I'll send the link as well. If he sends the link, and I'll pass them on as well. He's got 20 min. So who on drugs are not better than Liverpool? So how can you ever get top four? Mate, look, we can still get top four, but we've got to start banging in the goals, yeah? We've got to finish as high as we can. I've got elite mentality. We've got to finish as high as we can. We've got to compete. Remember, Eddie said, we're not here to make mates. We're here to compete. Simple as that. But if we can, and we don't, there's always next season. Do you not think finishing the top four would be a fairly hard season? Personally, I don't think Europa League would be a decent given our squad, and we could build from there. What do you think of that one, Pete? Would it be disappointing if we don't finish the top four?
No, I don't think it would be a failure. I mean, if we got seventh, I think I'd be happy with that. I said seventh become the beginning of the season, which is still a possibility. I think Europa Conference would be an okay. We haven't been in Europe for over 10 years. Look at the times, how many past seasons under the previous ownership we've been in relegation battles. Apart from one top five finishing fifth in the 2011-12 season, all the rest of the seasons under Mike Ashley have been battling relegation.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we were 16 months ago, bottom of the table, and here we are, 16 months on, a cup final and 6 in a minute. So we fly through as well. Jack Gale's 2 goals against Watkins was brilliant too. I tell you what, he caused a lot of problems with the Sunderland fans, by the way. Good. Wind them up more. Really? Yes, Paul. Thank you for the Toon Army. Europa will be great, but Champions League will really help us build. Yep, absolutely. Even to you, I hope you're okay, Jules. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share it to your socials. We're all fine, tiny. I hope you're well, Jules, as well. Champions League will generate more money for the club, but are we ready as a club? Maybe it's not this season, but we need to spend massive in the summer. Good chance to win Europa and qualify the Champions League. Again, you got to spend massive as well. I must make Klopp's teeth shine brighter than the cardboard after belief. John, what do you think the shite forward we have could ever compete with Liverpool's top 6 forward? They get goals. We don't have one player on their level up front. Jordan, I have to agree, mate. I'm not going to lie. They haven't got the quality up front yet. Let's be real. But what I'm saying is, right, I mean, we finish as high as we can, and then in the summer, Reece, we're going to have to improve. Everyone knows we're going to have to improve, Kyle.
Yeah, mate, 100%. I was Nunes' biggest critic, and look what he's doing now. I think that team's just starting to gel. Sometimes it just takes teams time. Like, you know, look at Chelsea at the minute; they're awful, but in time they'll be up there. So yeah, we need to spend. If we want to compete with Chelsea, Tottenham, Spurs, and all the rest of them, Liverpool, City, a lot. We need to spend because this team at the minute is not going to get us Champions League. We're not going to win the Europa. You know, it's going to take time. It takes everyone else time. These teams have had 10 years, man, to get to where they are now. We've just started. You know, we've just got this takeover, and it's just going to take a bit of time. You know, I'll be gutted if we don't get Europa, obviously, but you've got to kind of come back down to the realization that, you know, it's the first season and it's going to take time, mate, but we will get there, you know, we will, just not this season. But if we do, it's a bonus. Great. Let's give it a good go, you know. But yeah, these other teams, man, they're starting to get together now. They're starting to gel, and it's worrying, and it's starting to show. Like even Fulham, man, Fulham get a good result tomorrow. We're down to 7th. So fingers crossed they don't get the win tomorrow. But I know we've got games in hand in that. But you know, I'm confident with where we're going. Just it's not going to happen as soon as we want it to.
Yeah, absolutely. Tangi, big up the Tangi, by the way. Our expectations went sky high because of the form we were in. All's not lost for because we can rediscover our goal-scoring form. We get some momentum back. We are still in the race for top 4 with our games in hand, and we're back in the race. And yeah, Billy's just sent as well. Got a message from Billy as well. Got the timing wrong. Big up to Billy, by the way. Do follow Billy Trey on his socials as well. Put Peter and Kevin's link in. Brian is PD Plowlock and KD Porvy.
K what?
K Porvy. Is it?
That's the one. KP K
Porvy NUFC. There you go.
K Porvy NUFC. That's the one.
Do apologise. I could KP then, didn't I? Sorry. There you go. Got one there for Julie J. Big up to Julie. Good evening to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hi, Eric 7 Hog.
And 7 Hog. Oh man. Big up to Jules, by the way. Love the Jules from Norway, by the way. Even to you. Hope you're okay. And yeah, let's sort of go through the stages, right? I mean, Eddie put the wrong formation, right? I mean, we could have gone behind in the very, very first minute when Gundogan had a shot, went over, landed the board, landed top of that. Kieran Trippier, man. This guy, last few games, has been absolutely poor. I mean, I'm a fan of him, Pete, but what has happened to this guy?
You like to know, wouldn't you? Because, yeah, he's been a little bit off his game. His set pieces haven't been up to standards, have they? They're going all over. They're not beating the first man, or he's playing them too short at times as well. So he's going to have to work on them for me.
I'm going to have to agree, Pete, because look, this guy, I'm a big fan of Kieran Trippier. He's been fantastic, but I'm judging by game to game. We're going to analyse it as well. He was poor yesterday. He just said it there. He gave the ball away for the second goal. We're going to come on to as well. But the first goal, Cal, was absolutely shocking. How did Newcastle players, 4 of them, allow Phil Foden to dribble and run into the box like that? Bruno went like that. He couldn't do anything about it. But at the end of the day, don't put your hands up like that. Right, trying to bring him down for a penalty, go for it.
Oh, it was disgusting, wasn't it? The defense. But when you're behind a player and he's that close to the box, I get it. I get why he did it, but yeah, it's not acceptable. You can't be allowing players to just run into the box and shoot. Right, it was awful. It was the worst start possible. But you know, I'm trying to stay positive, you know, against Man City in the end of the day, and we've got a long way to go. We'll get there. We'll learn from it, and I just hope, I have faith in Eddie that he is going to look. He's going to look at these issues that we're having and fix them, and faster rather than later, because that was disgusting. That defense, like at that first goal, it's not acceptable. It can't keep happening against any team. You can't do that against any team, let alone Man City at home. So yeah, it was terrible, but hopefully it'll not happen again.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a poor goal to concede. Our defence are better than that, but how did they allow the goal? It's a joke. Then Newcastle got back into the game. We had a couple of chances in the first half. I mean, Sean Longstaff, Pete had a great chance, but he held the ball too long. Callum Wilson's found guilty and missing. Well, it wasn't miss. He just missed the shot as well. We spoke about that off there, and that was a poor play. And what's your take on that one then, Pete? Williams, big miss.
Yeah, the first chance through Longstaff, I think. Yeah, sure, Longstaff. He could have shot a bit quicker, but I think it was good defending as well by Man City. It's the Callum Wilson one. I'm thinking no one's picked him up no Man City players picked him in the box, and it's one of the easiest chances you've got. And I can't believe how massively he absolutely fluffs his lines there. If that's Isak, I think the least that is good on target.
Do you think there's just too much pressure on us because of where we are, right? I know this sounds crazy, right? Because they're professionals, right? And the pressure shouldn't really get to them at this level. They're professionals and they're playing the Premiership. But because of where we are and the potentials of where we could be and end up, do you not think there's just so much pressure on the lads? So these opportunities, these chances that we're getting, they're just affecting them. Like if we were 12, safe, they might put them away. I don't know. I'm trying to find an excuse for why this is happening, why we've had this dip. Do you think it's just too much pressure on them? Like, because where we are, when was the last time we were in this position, man? And I just think maybe that's it. Because I look at Mickey, I look at Wilson, I look at why they've changed, like why they're not doing what they were doing at the beginning of the season. I'm starting to think it's the pressure of where we are, I'm 26 games in, and the chance of being in the Champions League. Maybe it's just too much. Am I wrong here? Am I stupid for saying that? Or do I have a point? I don't know.
I think you got a point there. I mean, these players have not been in this situation before for a long time. You look at Kieran Trippier. He's a champion in Atletico Madrid. He's got a winning mentality, right? I mean, Sven Botman played for Lille, won the French league title, Ligue 1 title. He's got a winning mentality as well. Let's be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? This should be on top of the game. But some of the players say Wilson and maybe it's Longstaff. Maybe I don't want to call them. They may be bottle jobs at the moment. I don't want to say that, but people are saying like if you don't make top 4 and you have the opportunity to do so, it could be bottle jobs. And I don't want to say that, but could it be the pressure? We'll find out this month and next month to see if it is pressure sort of thing. You know what I mean? They're professional footballers. They're ambitious. They want to finish high as they can. But for me, I mean, Carl, I think you're right. I can see where you're coming from, mate. You know what I mean? You just said how it is, mate. You know what I mean? That's all you hear. So, and it could be pressure. What do you think, Pete, before I go on to Tony's comments? Do you think the pressure is getting to them?
It could be our teams are working out how we're playing in a way because we're trying to walk the ball into the net too many times now. And I think teams are looking at that and thinking, right, that Newcastle are now only got one way of creating chances, and that's trying to walk the ball in the net. We need to try something different now. If we can have a chance outside a goal, go for it.
Look at Reece Nelson's shot in the end against Bournemouth.
What a goal that was.
What a goal that was. On his weak foot as well. I want to see players have a go. Have a go. Do long distance. Take a shot. Take a shot at goal. And we haven't seen that. Question for John. Thanks for Tony. Is ETH right to call his players unprofessional in public, or should it be said behind the scenes? Tony, you're absolutely right. That should be done behind closed doors. You don't start out in public. The players who listen to that, all the fans listen to that, and they're going to think, hang on a minute, he's wrong here. But look,
what did he say?
I don't know what he said, but Tony will probably come back on that one in a minute. Tony, if you're listening, mate, come back at us, mate, what he's been saying. And we give it an answer. For me personally, if he's unprofessional and he's calling players out in public, he should not have done that at all whatsoever. There's just no way. Otherwise, you're going to end up losing the players.
Before you move on to the comments, going off that, it's a good time to bring it up with what Tony just said. The comments are coming in. I was just going to mention how he says about how you should be calling them out live on air about being unprofessional, whatever, calling your players out. Bruno has recently live on air, said how much, him and Pep's been talking, and Pep said to him he's muy bueno, which is really good, and that they've been talking, and he's the best coach in the world now. I don't like that. I don't know what's your guys' opinion on it. I don't think that's right. I'm against that. I think he knows what he's doing, and I love Bruno, right? I think he's a fantastic player. But I don't like one of my players saying that live on air about another coach. I just think that's bad crack as well.
I didn't see that. I didn't hear that at all. If you said that, I think, from my opinion, I think you should keep his mouth shut, right?
Yeah.
You're playing for Newcastle United, not Man City, right? Keep your mouth shut. You get paid handsomely at Newcastle United to do a job. So you concentrate on us, forget Man City. Yeah, simple as that. And if any of our players do a thing like that, saying things like that, they will get the wrath at us. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who you are. And I'll be brutally honest, because you had that over the years. Don't say it. Do not say it. All the pies, we got to you with all the games in hand. Top 4 is in our hands. Whether we capitalize on that or not is a different matter. We've got to play Wolves. We have to win that game. We've got to play Nottingham Forest. We have to win that game. And you know what? Win both of those games, then we're right back in the race. If we don't start scoring soon, we won't get you up at all. But I hope we turn it around against Wolves. Let's hope that is the case. I think Wolves are a hit-and-missy team. Hi to Harry again. If you don't start scoring soon, we won't get you up a Conference League. Hey, Les. Everyone say hi to other people as well. Man, you will be drinking tears from that Carbo Cup Tandies. Absolutely. And Mo's got a good point, by the way, Pete. We gave the ball away too easily yesterday, and yes, we have done that.
Yeah, particularly for the second goal. Trippier. I'm sorry, you should be gunning the ball away in those kind of areas.
Don't do it. Do not do it. Ridiculously put pressure on ourselves. That's just the top 4 and out. 7-4 and Europe will be incredible for Newcastle United. That's Foxy as well. But Foxy as well. Champions League next season will be a good thing. We get experienced quality players and high revenue. That's the truth. And we've been on a good run without losing. We've been on good runs without conceding. At the minute, on a bad or not scoring goals. I think it'll change against Wolves and Forest before Man U at home. We need to win those 2 games. And before we play Man United as well. And as things stands, I hope we stuff them. I hope we beat them. That would make my month. When we play Man U at home, it now has to be more than 7. Yes, we're playing on the 2nd of April, and I may not go to that game. That's a Sunday game. I'm not going to get a day off next year. I'm absolutely gutted if that is true. Let's go into the second half. I mean, again, Newcastle made changes. ASM, Isak, and was it Murphy came on in the second half? Willock.
It was Willock, and Murphy came on a bit later.
Absolutely. And you know what it is? I mean, Isak made a difference in the second half. Carl, he came on, nearly had an assist, crossed the ball in, too deep. ASM had a cross goal, and then he had a great chance as well when he tried to poke it past Emerson and Edison, and he made a good save. But you know what it is? Isak has done more than Callum has done. What does Isak have to do to get in that first team?
Score a goal, maybe. Yeah, it's I don't know. We don't know what's going on in training, do we? We don't know what's going on behind, the 90 minutes that we see. Maybe Wilson's playing out his skin in training. I don't know. I don't get it. But the subs when they came on made a huge difference, and I remember getting hyped up in my living room by myself, going, "Come on, this game's changing. This game's changing. We can do this," because that next goal was vital, mate. Like I think I did a thing on Twitter. Like I says, this next goal's vital. If we get the next one here, this game's changing. We could win it. We could. And then it all went downhill. Trippier gave the ball away. And wanted a 2-0 at City. The next goal, like I say, was vital. They got it, and it was all downhill. We were in big trouble, mate. But the changes made a big difference, and I loved that. And I hope he sees that in starts that with that next week, because I couldn't believe he didn't start Max. I can't believe he didn't start Isak. I'm surprised Miggy's still getting a start. I mean, come on, mate. We all know what we need to do next week. Let's say it, But yeah, big changes. It's just a shame that Trippier gave the ball away and they went 2-0 up. Because I think if that game could have went our way, if that second goal doesn't go in, we get the next one, because the game was changing
every single time. But we've got to take down some positive, making those subs as well. He just said there, we need to start with these players next Sunday against Wolves. Play them, we'll probably win that game. For me, Neil, being out on a free, scored a beauty today. You know what, Pete? I take him, Pete.
So with that, free transfer. since you'll be leaving Liverpool come the end of the season, I'd give this guy a chance. I would definitely take him.
I tell you who I would take. Jordan Henderson. I know he's old, but he was class today. Him, absolutely quality. Him.
Wow. And you say for Sunderland?
Fair, man. We're all grown-ups, man. But in terms of skill and quality, like, forget all that. We're not 16 anymore. He's a quality player, and I think since Klopp's put him back in, that you've seen a big difference. I remember rightly, he dropped him, didn't he? And that's when they were gone to shit. But now, since he's back in, look what he's done. He was brilliant today. Same as Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott today was fantastic. But I know it's just one game. But yeah, I just thought if Henderson's gone, we'll tackle him.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, though, if Jordan Henderson comes to Toon sort of thing, well, I tell you what, it'd be a good buy. It'd be a good buy, but I can't see him leaving Liverpool. I think he'd be there.
He's out of contract at the end of the season.
I think he'd stay at Liverpool, Pete. I really do think he'd stay at Liverpool. But
I think it's been made clear he's definitely going.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think it's definitely made clear he's definitely going at the end of the season.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens if he comes to us. That'll be experience to us, so the young players can look after him as well. And got Tony as well. Let's be realistic. Finishing something isn't failure as his progress from constant relegation battles. Yes, good point. Well said to you, Tony. I think Firmino said he doesn't want to play for another Premier League club, so that rules him out if he's available here. He probably want to go to Spain. Cushy, our sub. Thanks, John. Thank you, Brian, mate. I'm sure Peter and Carl will be happy. I'm off to watch them to take care as well, mate. Watch what you're doing, mate. Dorton, Hobby, and Posh Seats for win and Thursday against Man United. Wow. Hope you enjoy your time. It could be worse. It could be Mackham's local. Yep, that's very, very true. It was good skill by Forden. We had chances. He's not going to start. Now, I really hit how negative. We are getting low. We are 6 with a game in hand. And Wolves and 2 over Man United. The thing is, Ash, right? I love your comments, mate. I think you're amazing, right? You know, but we've got to say how it is as well. We're not being negative. It's just stating facts, mate. Liverpool versus Wolves. And Jez, you know what to do on that one. We're not bottle jobs. If we don't hit top 4, in my opinion, we're still way ahead of where we thought we would be. But the project is still in its infancy, a grand scheme of things. That's from Jules. Sorry, who? Okay. He said they were unprofessional. I'll tell you what, mate. If he said that, sorry, Eric, you can't say that, mate. Wow. And we'll talk about Joe Linton as well. Joe Linton missed that chance as well, Pete. What a chance for the equalising goal. I mean, how the hell he missed that?
Oh, yeah, that was the one he missed. But I thought his game wasn't too bad. I thought he was his passing was fine. His skill on the ball was okay. He had to win the ball back a couple of times, I thought, as well. So I thought he did what he had to do. It's Wilson that you've got to point you because he did nothing apart from fluff a chance, did he? I thought Joe Linton was doing what he had to do at times. But yeah, that was a poor miss as well.
Shocking miss. I mean, that's a poor miss, and that cost us later on in the game. Talk about Bruno as well. I mean, look, we all love Bruno, don't we? But I think he wasn't that great yesterday, and he's slipping about on the pitch, and also he got booked for a deliberate handball while he slipped as well. He was locked into pass ball at times, and to me, he didn't look fit at all whatsoever. He still got an ankle injury, man.
Hopefully he'll shake that off soon because he still did try what he still tried his best out there yesterday for me, I thought.
It's all we ask for, innit? Just for them to try, you know. He's human. Everyone has a bad game, you know. And it wasn't going our way and he struggled, but it's one game. It's when he does it like 4 or 5 in a row, you know, like Wilson or Miggy, that's when we should start really, you know, looking at him. Like Trippier even. I think we shouldn't let Trippier get away with it. Like he's been offered for a few weeks now. I'm not wanting to get at someone for one bad game. But Trippier, Wilson, Miggy, we need to start looking at them to see what's going on, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right, guys. Again, absolutely right. Yeah, Coscow never said Ites was wrong to say that, and I agree. Yeah, he needs to be taught this by the hierarchy as well. Chatting to Tony, I think Bruno would get his head turned by Real Madrid. I hope that is not the case. John, what makes you think? So, well, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to read that as well. We know what's all about. Murphy was awesome. Yeah, I thought he did I thought he did fine. It's all the pies up to your channel. Thank you for that, Tony. I'm sure they'd be happy. Bruno won't want to leave him anytime soon. You don't see tears from a player like him when we lose if he wants to leave. That's true.
Can you blame him though?
What? If he goes to Madrid? If he goes to Real Madrid? He's frozen. Sorry, they come back to in a bit. You know what? Anyone who wants him for 100 mil, I hate to see Bruno leave, but he devastated, but I would rate him to say I'm willing. You know what it is, right? I don't think he'll go. I really don't think he'll go because he loves the project in Newcastle United. Nope. Let's be real. Them changes should have been made at half time, not on the 60-minute mark, lads. Gary, I can see where you come from, mate. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah, he's frozen there. He'll come back on soon, I'm sure. We played Man United on the wrong weekend. SA would love if you're not in the route to the top 4. You know what? We got our chance on April the 2nd. I hope that we beat United. I really, really do. That'd make my month. We need a shake-up on front three from Wilson. Has to get dropped now, Pete.
Has to. You can't keep putting performances like that every week in, week out. I'm sorry, like, look what Isak's doing when he's coming off the bench. He's trying to change and create something. He has to start from me now. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony, I'll send you the link, mate. And you want to come on, mate, then just come on, mate. I've definitely sent you the link out as well. So love to come back on, my guy. Said before the season, I'll take a good cut run on Europe Conference League. That's from Geordie. Yes, that's a good shout there. I'll be happy with that as well. Too many fans getting in. We're on a 5 to 10 year plan and not a 1 year plan. That's true. That's very true, Paul. That's very, very true. Got to start Isak, and Phil. Big up to Phil, by the way. If you subscribe to my channel, mate, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much indeed. I believe it's your first time. Let's also not forget how far we've come since last season already. Absolutely. Look, we were 16 months ago to where we are now. Our owners have a 15-year plan to turn our club into an elite club. Bruno bleeds black and white, absolutely Geordie, and one other person who bleeds black and white as well. That's Kate as well. Big up to Kate, by the way. I hope you okay. Yes, not the result we wanted yesterday. We move. We only lost 3 times this season. 2 clubs as well. And Jules got throws some 90 Rios moves there. That's in Jules. And I love it. All top clubs by youth and younger players these days. It's true. Big up to Andy G, by the way. I hope you're okay. I really believe Eddie will keep this faith in Wilson and also most likely Miggy too. Andy, mate, you know what? If we're going to finish in the top 4 maybes or whatever sort of thing, we need to drop those 2 because you cannot carry them. We cannot afford to carry them anymore. Let's be honest. Can't afford to carry them as well. And Wilson's not the only person to perform levels of short easily. I totally agree. There's others as well, which is quite highlighted. John Peter, Newcastle play on Jonathan's birthday on April the 2nd. Hope we win it. You know what, Kate? I hope we slaughter them. I hope we beat them. Because if we do that, it'll blow the top 4 race right open. The Brighton game is a massive the games in hand they have, and if they beat us, we could be down to 7-4, depending on the results. Aston Paul. You know what it is? You got to watch out for Fulham. We got to watch out for Brighton, Kyle, because they're on our tailcoats, mate.
Yeah, and they look really good against West Ham. Sorry about that disconnection. I'm using a different setup, and But what I was saying is about Bruno. You can't really blame him. Like, every footballer's dream is to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, and I don't care who you are, you'll go if they want you. That's been proven. Who's turned them down? No one. So you can't blame him if he does go. But in terms of Brighton and Fulham, I think they've got a good chance to beat Brentford tomorrow. They're looking good at the minute, Fulham. And Brighton, fucking hell, you see what they did against West Ham? They're on fire. They're really good at home, Brighton. They're really good at home. I've noticed that. But yeah, we need to keep an eye on them. Like, it's not really about keeping an eye on them, actually. It's about doing what can we do. As long as we keep getting results, not draws. results, then doesn't matter what they do, does it? We've just got to really get them goals going and find something different, because like Pete says, is it Pete? We've got to find something else. We've got to try something different rather than just trying to walk the ball in all the time. And I'm sure Eddie knows this, and I'm sure we'll do it. Yeah, we'll improve. I'm sure we will.
Absolutely. If Bruno does leave, I mean, I have to agree with you there. When Real Madrid come to for your club, they do not stop at all whatsoever. Just keep going and going and going until they get what they want. If Madrid wants, they go and get them. But at the end of the day, if it's like 100 million, it's going to be at least 100 million to price this guy away from Newcastle United. Let's be real. Mickey's having his best season so far for us, but other teams just worked him out. Pete, I have to agree with him.
Yeah, he's looking out of gas for me as well. I think he needs a break as well.
Yeah, he does.
Think he does.
But don't upset Foxy though. If he's in the chat, we don't want to upset him. If like Mickey, if Eddie Howe doesn't want to drop Wilson, put Isak on goal on either wing, that leaves Wilson in the middle. And I'm not going to sing that song. And when it's the Brighton game, the date has not been set. When does it peak, that Brighton game? Got no idea.
Oh, I'll have to have a look at it again. I'll have to double check because I can't remember. I'm not sure if they've done it yet. I'll double check if they've done it yet. So I'm not sure they have yet.
Someone sent me a comment there.
No, it's not been done yet. They've not rearranged it yet, I think.
Fair enough. We'll find it something. Wilson reigns on number 9 until the end of the season. Might as well wave goodbye to European football. Actually finish in the top 10, but outside the European spots. That's in Geordie. We cannot afford to carry players now. We cannot. I love Callum Wilson. I'm not having a go at him, but we have to speak facts. He has not been good enough. 1 assist, 1 goal in 3 months tells his own story. Do the maths. We need to focus on our own game, couldn't care less what other teams do. That's very, very true. And we've got George getting Real Madrid on Bruno, then they should be forced to pay well over the odds for him as he are a key part of our squad. And anyhow, I tell you what, if you lose Bruno, I tell you something now, we have got to be, I'm going to be real, we've got to get someone better than Bruno. And I tell you what, there's not many people out there that's better than Bruno. The Bayern match hasn't been scheduled yet. However, I have a feeling that will be for midweek prior to the Chelsea match. And Barca need to sell over 170 mil worth of players in the summer. We should rear them for a few young players. That's from
Atsu. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not Atsu. Fucking Atsu. Ansu Fati. I love Ansu
Fati. I tell you what, if Bruno goes, we should get Ansu Fati. That's the only way. What a player that guy is. Let's be real. Goal from Kate as well. Start Anthony Gordon against Wolves. He has to start, Kate. He has to start. That's the one fact. So, yeah, just going to read out Carl, what Eddie Howe's been saying. If I can find it as well. I think I lost it now, but we'll come on to him in a bit there as well. But, yeah, so finishes 2-0 then. I mean, are you happy with the 2-0 defeat, Pete, against Manchester City? They weren't impressive, though.
No, I didn't think they were, to be honest. They just took their chances. We didn't. I didn't think their midfield was great. And again, De Bruyne kind of, I thought, looked disappointing, I thought. The same with Gundogan. I thought the defence was quite suspect, I thought, as well. It was their front three that played well for me. Foden, Haaland, and Grealish. I thought they did very well, which is what kept them going.
Yeah. I want to talk about Dan Burn as well, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, he's been really poor the last few games. Really poor. I mean, Phil Foden had him on toast again, yeah? And you know what it is, right? Surely now he has to play in defence. Matt Todd's got to come back in, Kyle.
Oh, I love it. Every show you bring with Dan Barron, I love it. And no, you've got a point I can't argue with you. I expected him at centre back and target left back. I didn't expect to see Lascelles. I think that he got that wrong. Maybe Dan Burns okay at centre back. He is. He's a quality defender, but left back's not his position. And I'm sure you'd agree. You'd like to see him centre back. But you make me laugh. But he's always going to struggle against the likes of Phil Ford and these world class players. You know, these top teams on the left back position. But Shaw's out. What can you do? You know, yes, Tony Toon. But Dan Burn. I think if Shaw's still out, you can't do that again. You can't keep him on the left for too long, man, because it's, you know, you can clearly see Maxi needs support. I say Maxi needs support. He didn't even start. But yeah, I'd like to see Target back next week. I didn't think Target coming back against City was a good idea, but I would have had that over Lascelles. And I know Lascelles did well. I know he did okay. He didn't do bad, but I would have preferred to see Target and Dan Burn at centre back. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to agree. Before I get Tony on, so on for the reason, by the way, do you think Man United will get taken over by Qatar? The limelight will be off the Saudis. You know what it is, right? I mean, all this crap is coming out the past few years saying that the Premier League's got to look into it again. No, I'm sorry. There's no to read about, people, right?
It's the sun, John.
Exactly. It's the sun.
What do we keep saying about the sun?
Yes. Exactly.
Well, Tony, you can say it.
Go on, Tony.
Yeah, because it's it seems to be copyrighted towards me now. This, for some reason, everybody quotes my famous quote now, is what I say about the Sun newspaper. Because the Sun newspaper is the only paper that you wipe your arse off, and there's more shit on your arse off the paper than there is on the actual paper itself. There you go.
Thank you, Tony.
It's full of It's full of printed diarrhea.
Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you. Absolutely right. And Goldman is Target fully fit. Yes, he's fully fit now. He came on for a few minutes yesterday. But this week dropped, and Target had to come back in the starting 11. We can't keep playing a natural centre back week in out as a left back. He's not good enough, especially against the likes of City. And do you think some players like Trippier, Burn, Miggy, Wilson seem to have lost a bit of their edge and concentration in certain situations? Still, I have to agree there, mate. It looks like it. Tony, welcome back, mate.
Yeah, hi, John. You all right?
I'm great, man. How's things for you, man? You good?
Yeah, not too bad. Just I'm being busy, that's all lately. But yeah.
Yeah, man. That's fair enough. Well, welcome back anyway. Give us your little breakdown on yesterday's game. And I know you've got a lot to say about this game, mate.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, do you know what? We played okay in that game. We didn't play bad at all. That's the thing, right? It was never a deserving 2-0 win for Man City. Let's get that straight now, okay? Man City, that game, they won 2-0. They got away with that, winning that 2-0. They were a shambles at times at the back. They were awful. The problem is we can't take the chances. That is the problem. We can't put nothing in the back of the net. So that is why Man City ended up with that 2-0 win.
Yeah. Because
the longer it was 1-0, if we'd scored a goal, we would have gone on and won that game. And I'm quite convinced we would have gone on and won that game. But because we can't put the ball in the back of the net, Wilson can't score for Toffee. Longstaff took too long with his shots, so by the time he got his shot away, Ake got his foot there, so managed to block it. Joe Linton missed a sitter as well. You know, it's not good enough. Look, I'm not against the guy. I think he's been great. Now, I think it's time that Wilson was put on the bench and, you know, gave a bit of a rest and bring Isak in. Isak should not have come on. It shouldn't have come on at like 60-odd minutes. He should have been on at half-time, in my opinion. It should have been swapped with Isak. I think the change has been made far too late. Yes, okay, City had chances. We know they had chances in the game. But, you know, we were limiting them. Maybe they could have scored another two. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, De Bruyne put a free kick over the bar. But all in all, the difference is, and they took their chances. We didn't. Simple as that. And we've left empty-handed again. Yeah. That's 3 games in a row now. We've lost 2-0. Now, tonight there, we saw a game there this afternoon. Liverpool, Man United, this afternoon there. Liverpool winning 7-0. Right, let's get things straight here. That Man U team today was poor. because the Man U team we played last week, we were better than them. Again, we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. That's the difference. The week before that, we played Liverpool with 10 men. We were better than that Liverpool side, and that's basically the same Liverpool side that we played against. But yet they've gone out and thumped Man United 7-0, but they could only put 2 past us. You know, the difference is, but Eddie needs to start looking and thinking, right, hang on, Wilson's not banging the goals in. I think what I need to do is take him out and put somebody else in. You've got a striker there who's £58 million plus the £5 million add-on, so £63 million striker sitting on the bench. He must be sitting there thinking, hang on, he's not scored goals for a while, but why am I stuck on the bench? Wilson, 1 goal, 1 assist in 3 months. Not good enough. Isak's only been back since January, you know, and he's already got a goal to his name, but he's not getting the starts. That's the problem, and he needs to be starting now. Is Wilson the type of striker that's going to get you to the next level? No, he's not, unfortunately. And we're going to have a big summer, but it's not going to be the big spend that everybody thinks, because FFP is going to be in the way of it as well. And remember, every transfer we make is scrutinised by the Premier League. So it depends what sponsors we get in the summer. That'll determine how much we spend in the window. But we definitely need to get at least another striker through that door in the summer.
Be honest, each and every one of these, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you see Eddie making these changes against Wolves, or do you honestly believe we're going to see Wilson and Miggy start again next week?
Do you know what it is? It wouldn't surprise me if Eddie started Wilson and Miggy next week. But personally, this is what I would do for next week. If it was me personally, but I'm not the manager, I don't get paid mega millions like Eddie Howe gets paid. But personally, I would take Wilson out for Isak. Obviously, Joe Linton suspended. But I would bring ESM back in. Now, maybe, because remember, ESM against Wolves the last time he played a blinder against them and scored that fantastic volley towards the end. Maybe play ESM on the left. Now, where Joe Linton's missing, now you look at thinking, will it comes in there? Or you bring Gordon in there and play Gordon in a free role like he did against West Ham and had quite a good game. He was quite effective doing that. So you could do that, and that changes the formation a little bit, which then will throw the opposition out of sync because he'll be expecting a 4-3-3. So I would say definitely them two, and I would say definitely Miggy has to come out and give him a rest. And now, I know this might split a lot of opinions, what I'm going to say here, but I'll throw Jacob Murphy in his place. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because Murphy put in a hell of a cross yesterday, and at least he can cross with the right foot. Miggy can't cross with his right foot. He's got to shift from right to left. By the time he does that, he's got 2 or 3 players on top of him. It's
not the worst idea, and I get everything you're saying. We all agree with, but you think Eddie will do it?
I'm not sure.
No.
He's got. The thing is, though, is he going to be under pressure to start Isak, knowing that he's got a man on the bench that's the £63 million striker compared to £20 million we paid for Callum Wilson? The thing is, it's not so much. I know Eddie Howe wants to try and keep faith, but he's got to realise he's got to be ruthless, and he's got to put sentiment to one side and say, right, let's push that sentiment to one side. I've got to do what's best for this team. And unfortunately, playing Wilson at the moment is not the best for our team because he's just not doing it in front of goal. Pre-World Cup, Wilson was on fire. I know he had that few weeks out with an injury after the Man City game, but pre-World Cup, Wilson was on fire. Post-World Cup, Wilson's been absolutely a dog shit. Poor, in other words, because, like I say, 1 goal, 1 assist from a striker in 3 months, that's not good enough. That's not going to get you in the top echelons of the Premier League. The way we're playing at the moment, we're going to slide out of this top 7 if we don't get back on track. Because remember, Brighton have got games in hand over us, and they're only 3 points behind us now. Brighton, and their goal difference, they're catching their goal difference up with us as well. Mm-hmm. And when we play Brighton, as much as this sounds stupid, that is a 6-pointer against Brighton.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Tony, that, I mean, Brighton's Fulham close behind us as well. We need to look over the shoulder, man. And we got to start scoring goals very, very quickly. Tony, just going back to what you said about the signings we make is going to be scrutinised. Does that mean other clubs as well, or is it just us especially?
Well, John, you know it's going to be just us that's scrutinised. I mean, Jesus, Chelsea weren't scrutinised over it. I mean, yes, okay, they've changed the FFP rules now that you can't when you sign a player for a club, you can only give them a maximum of 5-year contract. But that's because Chelsea went out and spoiled it for everybody else, because they give Mudryk an 8.5-year contract, they've give Fernandes an 8-year contract, so they can split these payments over a certain length of time. And they've spoiled it for everybody else now. But we are going to be scrutinised, John, and they're going to look into every little detail that we do and make sure that we're not going against the FFP. Because the minute we break that FFP, they're going to be straight on top of us. Do you think that could be the reason why we haven't spent massive in January? Because we want to build the FFP up for the summer, get some more sponsors in by the summer as well, and then go gung-ho in the summer. But they'll not go gung-ho as in like a whole team, but we'll definitely be in there getting some players in, that's for sure. We will be active in the summer. But like I say, Eddie's just got to stop playing his favourites basically now, and he's got to put that to one side and say, no, I've got to play the best team that's going to go out there and win. Yes, Miggy's been great this season. He's got 10 goals, John, and it's fantastic, the return he's done. But teams have worked him out because they know he's not got a right foot. He's got to move from right to left, and that's why they're saying as soon as he gets a ball, the opposition managers are saying to their team, right, once he gets that ball, make sure there's two of us on him, because by the time he shifts it to his left foot, he won't get a crossing. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Exactly. We're just not changing it up at all whatsoever. Change it up, then shock them, and we'd be all right, but we're just not changing it up at all. And we get found up very, very quickly. This is why Niggy needs to be rested. You know what I mean? Just get Gordon on somewhere in the team as well. I have to agree with you, mate.
Recharge the batteries.
Exactly. And this is why we need more transfer windows to get to that level. The squad is very weak. I definitely think another striker will be in the summer. I wanted Ollie Watkins just to pee fellow fans off. That's from Paul. Wow. This is where we are really going to see what Eddie is made of. If he starts Wilson over Isak against Wolves, the pressure is going to be on him for the very first time. Is that true, Pete?
Hopefully it's not, but Eddie's got to realise that if a player's not performing, he's got to take them out the firing lineup.
He has to.
What's he seen in Wilson? Because I'm not seeing anything with Wilson at the moment. And that is just a real disappointment. For me, if he's not scoring in the goals, he's not getting involved in the game, well, what does that tell you? You can't continue to play him.
It's a worry. It's an absolute worry. And that is the problem. I mean, Eddie, we love Eddie, but he needs to change it up as well. He needs to. Otherwise, the stick he had yesterday, Cal, right, phone could have commented, the stick he had yesterday from social media when the team news came out, I saw a lot of tweets, and he was getting in the neck by some fans in that.
Yeah, you can't blame them. We're all saying the same thing. We know what we want to see. We know what needs to change, but he's just not doing it. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Like someone just commented there about ASM warming up. He was just standing about. They're doing that in training, mate. They're not going to start games. So it's all right us saying, oh, well, he should be doing this, he should be doing that. Eddie Howe gets to see them weekend every day nearly, So we don't know what's going on there. So maybe that's the reason we're not seeing the players we think we should be seeing. But I was one of them critics. It's from the get-go. I couldn't believe that lineup. I wasn't happy against Man City. I thought, well, we'll beat. But we did well. We did a lot better than I expected. A few mistakes cost us. We just got to be careful with what we say. I mean, I blamed Eddie. I did. I was one of them. I got a lot of stick on Twitter, believe me, mate. I was blaming Eddie Howe for that loss, for the lineup that he put out. And I was happy with how early he brought them on. I think he brought them on in the hour. I was expecting them to come on in 70 yards, 75. I know Tony says that they should have come on at half time. I agree. But I was happy they came on earlier than usual. And they made a big difference. But I think he should have started them. And, but again, we don't know what's going on, do it. So let's hope after last week, after the changes, the impact that they had, he does start them next week. Because, I don't care what they're doing in training. On match day, we need them, man. We can't keep playing this lineup. It's not going to do it any favours. We need goals. And I think with Max, Isak, Gordon, I know Willock's going to come in for Joe Linton, but we've got a better chance of scoring goals.
Crazy, absolutely, man. And by the way, Paul, Joe Linton's banned for the next game. ASM, you should have seen ASM on his warm-up, just stood about most of the time. That's some more. Chess, I don't think how plays favourites. What I really think he's doing is favouring the best pressers over quality players, if that makes sense. Tony.
You don't think Howe plays favourites, but
he doesn't think so.
Yeah, maybe he's doing the best. Maybe he's doing the best pressers, but still, at the end of the day, that's not good enough. We need to be scoring goals, and that's the problem, John. We're not scoring goals, and that's the concern.
Yeah,
the good thing is we're creating the chances, man. That's not the worst part about it, because we are creating the chances.
Yeah.
But the problem is we're not converting those chances into goals, and that is what's costing us. That's what's cost us the Carabao Cup. Had we converted those chances, we probably would have gone on and won that cup last Sunday. Had we converted yesterday, we could have possibly gone on and beat Man City. Who knows? I even got a draw of it. But but when you're not converting, you're just giving teams a license to score, and then Bernardo Silva comes on within 2 minutes, he pops the ball in the back of the net. But we're trying to walk the ball in the net, which is not good enough. We should be taking shots from outside the area. What's wrong with having a go? Look what Murphy did against Man United last week. He had De Gea worried on the lane. De Gea didn't know what was going on because he saw the bend on that shot all of a sudden, and he was panicking. Unfortunately, had too much bend on it. So at the end of the day, you've got to start playing the best team that can get goals. And sometimes it's best to refresh the team and freshen it up. This is why we need a bigger squad. And yes, it's going to take time. And while, yes, some people might want Champions League this season, technically, I think if we got in the Champions League this season, it'd be a mistake because we haven't got the squad for it. Where if we finish in a Europa League place or 7th, as I said before the start of the season, I'll take 7th all day long. That was before a ball was kicked. That was my prediction. And if we did finish 7th, I won't be disappointed because my predictions come true that I said we would finish 7th.
Yeah, absolutely right. You know right winning the cup as well, Carabao Cup. You know right there.
Nearly there, yeah.
Nearly there. But also as well, you said that 7th as well. You could be right on that one as well. So we go through some comments, go for the player ratings. It doesn't matter who you talk to. They all say the same. We're all row for in the final third. And vastly need to see Isak coming over Wilson. That's in Harry. Yep, absolutely. I got abused by a Man City fan yesterday. They called me fat. And he said, don't sit down and break the seat. That's from David. Ignore the haters, David. I don't like people calling people that at all whatsoever. It's not right. A big clearance is required. However, we're being linked to the likes of Calvin Lewin, which leaves me very low confidence going forward. If that's the caliber we're anticipating, JJ, I don't want any DCL coming near me club. His next club should be in fashion because he's
injured, John, again.
He is. That's why we don't want him. That's why we don't need him.
I don't think you'd come, John. I don't think we'd be signing that caliber of player. To be fair, I don't know who's bringing out these ridiculous stories, but I can't see why we would want to get Calvert-Lewin. Is he better than what we've got? No chance. No, not whatsoever.
Not at all. No. Not at all. He's just a big target man. That's all he is, and that's it. No pressure ain't on how he got us to the final potential European players and kept us up last season against all odds. That's from Paul. I think he's a better passer than Callum. I agree. And we're talking about goals again. Gordon and Maxi don't score a lot of goals. End of the day, it's quality we need, which won't happen until the summer. Now that's from Paul. We go for the player ratings, guys, as well. You know exactly what to do. Guys should join in as well. We say the truth on player ratings. We don't flip and flop. And if you don't agree, we'll cry some more. Pete, I start with you. Nick Pope.
Nick Pope, yeah. Couldn't have done out about the 2 goals. I thought he pulled off a really good save yesterday to deny Foden the second goal. And at times he did what he had to do. So I think a 6 for Pope.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to Tony. Go to right back. Kieran Trippier, in my opinion, one of the worst performances since he's joined the club. He started awfully. He gave the ball away in the very, very first minute of the match. It was a 4th or 2nd goal, gave the ball away. His set piece is poor. And I'm sick of these short corners now. They do not come off at all whatsoever. His quality crosses is poor. This, in my opinion, Tony, is the worst performance I've seen from Kieran Trippier since he's joined the club.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed, to be fair, with Trippier yesterday. Set pieces and just haven't been great from delivery. I mean, this is what I said about last week. The same last week, it was terrible. You know, and I know, like I said, people rave on and say, oh, Matt Ritchie, you know, why do we have to go down the fact this is how bad the squad is when you got to bring Matt Ritchie on. But the difference with Matt Ritchie was when he put that free kick in last week against Man United at Wembley, it was on target. That's the thing. That's a difference. His delivery was much better than what Kieran Trippier was doing all match. And that was only one ball. So had he been on a lot earlier, he could have been taking corners, and who knows, we could have scored last week. But yeah, Kieran Trippier yesterday, just absolutely awful. It's a 4 from me.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I would have given him a 4 myself, to be fair.
I'll give him a 4 on mine.
Yeah, I don't blame you as well. Let's go on to Dan Burn, Cal. For me, all this fans saying you're never going to beat Dan Burn. He's from Blythe. How about you're always going to beat Dan Burn because he was shite yesterday?
I think if anyone's given a rating on Dan Burn, it should be you, John.
Well, I'm not doing it, man. I know what I'd give him.
I know what you would have given. You know, I've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's against world-class players, against Man City, for God's sake. You're not really a left-back, you're a centre-back. He's doing his best. You know, he's against Foden, man. He's absolutely quality on a good day. And unfortunately, it was Foden's good day. He was mint. And yeah, I feel for him a little bit because it's his gaffer telling him to play there. You know, I'm sure he'd rather be at centre-back and not having to deal with these wingers cutting in and that. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give him a 6 just for his effort, you know, and what he's doing every week. Out of position.
Yeah. Very generous there, Carl.
I think I give
for once, I am generous.
Generous.
I think I give him, it was about 4 or 5 I give him on mine.
Wow. What's your favourite?
Mate, I've just explained it. He's against Foden, Man City, one of the best teams in the world. He's a world-class player. He's out of position. I've just put it all in. I've just explained, like, when we weren't against Bristol City or Brentford or something, you know. Honestly, it was 2-0. It wasn't 7-0. You know, what would you give Rob? What would you give Dallo or Shaw today? Do you know what I mean? Honestly, I don't think he deserves it that much criticism. I'm giving him a 6. It's a 6.
Okay, fair enough.
Breaking news, John.
Go on.
Man U's announced a new sponsor for their shirts.
What?
7-Up.
Yes.
Man U thought that Tony, Man U thought that probably the kits were too white. They must have got some dental treatment for it.
Fair enough. That is class. That is class. I wouldn't laugh too much, but that is class. Class. Let's go on to Olivia's comments. Unlucky I lost yesterday. Do you reckon you get top 4? We could, but I don't think we're ready for it just yet. Next season, cool. You never know. But with the squad we've got, I don't think we're good enough at all for me. But next season, we need to improve the squad, Olivia. And if you do subscribe to my channel, Olivia, please, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much indeed. Let's go on to the defenders. We go with you, Pete. I'm going to give you Jamal Lascelles. I think he had a good game for me. I think he handled Ireland well. Okay, he had a header just wide, but he did a brilliant block on him as well. And also, I think he did all right, you know.
Yes, I thought he was probably our best player. I've got to admit, I really, really thought he was. I thought he did well to deal with Holland at times. And yeah, that was really good to see because I was worried at first when he came in. But no, I've got to say, I thought he did very well there, Jamal Lascelles. So I'm going to go with a 7 for Lascelles. I thought he did very well for me.
Yep, fair enough. I'm going to give Tony's best player, Sven Botman. And no, before I do that, no one mentioned the bottom deflection when it's poor, and yet it's the same sort of goal as the bottom deflection pass carriers in the cup final experience. What do you give for Sven Botman, Tony?
Didn't think it was one of his great games, was it? Yesterday. Again, another deflection, but you try to block the ball. That's the difference. That's what happens when you try and block the ball. It can be deflected in. So it's just one of those things. I see what the comment means by last week. I mean, yeah, because we're all slating Karius about the deflection. But yeah, nothing said about Nick Pope, and that's the difference. The problem is because the media want to have have got agenda for Karius. They wanted to see him fail, and they wanted to see him fail massively. But because he didn't, and he pulled off some cracking saves last week, that showed the media up completely. But Botman, for me, not his greatest game. I'll give him a 5.
Yeah,
and he also gave the ball away in pool areas 3-4 times.
Yeah, he did.
And that is not great at all whatsoever. So, and go ahead on sides. Bottom 5, bottom 4 wasn't one of his greatest games. Should have handled Foden a bit better. Big up to you as well, EK. Big up to you, mate. Let's go on to the midfield. I've gone to Pete. I'm going to give you Sean Longstaff.
Got the chance, which to me, he could have either taken quicker or was a very good defending from Manchester City. Not too bad, but give the ball away at times, I thought, as well. So I will probably go with a 5 for Longstaff as well.
Yeah, that's about right. Tony, is it Carl? Isn't it Carl next, isn't it? Or is it Tony first? Was it Tony? Was it you, Tony, for Carl, or was it Hey, it's gone. Tony,
you've done. Yeah, it's me next. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So I'm going to give you Bruno. I mean, for me, he tried his best today, and he's slipping about the pitch all day, reluctant to give the pass as well. Got booked, and look, he didn't look fit there at all whatsoever, mate.
No, he didn't. He tried to get things going. He tried his best, but no, he wasn't fit at all. The ankle injury again, that showed up. Something's not right there with that. Not his usual self. Much as I hate to say it, I have to give him a 5.
Yeah, fair shout. I do think he'd go to Real Madrid in the summer.
No.
Because Carl reckons that if they come in for him, he wouldn't blame him from going. But I can't see him leaving Madrid. I can't see him leaving Newcastle for Madrid, yeah.
I don't think he will, no. I think he'll still be in the summer. We'll offer him a bumper contract and he won't go.
No, I have to agree with you. Carl, I'm going to give you Joel Linton. I mean, look, he's put himself about around the pitch, which is good to see, but he missed that chance in the second half when he missed kits in front of goal. And he got booked for the 10th time this season, so he's going to be suspended for 2 games. And yeah, what would you give him?
Yeah, sorry about that. I kept that in as long as I could. It's probably a good thing that I'm not here for the player ratings because I'm terrible at them, apparently.
No, you go for it, my guy. You're doing good.
No, it's just Joe Linton for me. Yeah, you've just nailed it. He missed that opportunity that could have changed the game. But he's not really a finisher, is he? But yeah, it was a sitter. He should have put that away. He even hit the target. He scuffed it. But for me, it's the bookings. It's like every game, like I've told you before in the past, like every time I have a bet, Joe Linton's a player to be carded because it's almost guaranteed, and that needs improving. He needs to pack that in. So yeah, for Joe Linton, I'm going to give him a 5. He didn't have a bad game at all. He just missed the chance and got booked. I think in terms of defensively and holding the ball up, I think he does a great job, even against the best. I'll give him a 5 for the game against City.
Fair enough. We're going to the front 3. Pete, I'll start with you. I'm going to give you Anthony Gordon. He looked sharp in the first half. I think he did and he got hooked after an hour. For me, he looks a little bit tired, and he wasn't really in the game after that.
Yeah, I thought he tried. Just nothing really seemed to pay off. That was the thing. So, but yeah, I thought he tried. So I think a 5 for Anthony Gordon.
5 Anthony Gordon. I'll go to you, Tony. I'm going to give you Callum Wilson. We know, I mean, one goal. I got to give him 1 goal, 1 assist in 3 months. That ain't good enough for Newcastle United.
Tony, I give him a 1 last week, so compare it.
Hey!
For turning up in the final, I give him a 1 in the final. For turning up.
Get away, Tony, man.
He didn't do a lot, John. Nothing at all. Didn't. I mean, I'm just trying to find the positives from yesterday for Callum Wilson, and they're very hard to find. That's the problem. They're very hard to find. But he should have put that chance away. He should have. Do you know what? It's hard to find a positive, for Callum Wilson. I think the only positive we had was when he got substituted. So I'll give him a 2.
Oh,
generous.
This is what my rating was for him. 0.
0. You gave him a 0.
0.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I've given him a 2 because of the substitution.
Wow. Fair enough. I'm going to give you Miggy, Pete. Is it? Yeah. Is it you, Pete, or no? I gave you Gordon, didn't I? Did I give you Gordon, Pete?
Yeah, it's Kyle next.
Kyle next for Miggy.
Well, he's not much better than Wilson at the minute, is he? It's hard to like Tony says. It's hard to really look at what he's doing well at the minute. He's just struggling really bad, and he's not doing anything different. And it's been weeks now. But against Man City, it was just like the final. It was just unimpactful. It was awful. It was a bad game for him. For me, I'll keep it short. I don't even want to waste that much breath on his performance. I'll give him 4, and that's me being generous, just because he just didn't do anything for me in there. He needs to start doing something different and changing something, and he's just not doing it. 4, and that's me being generous.
Yeah, sounds about right, to be fair. I mean, David Aki absolutely had in his pockets the whole game. I can't lie. I can't even remember the assist he made. When's the last time he made an assist for a goal? How many take-ons he had as well for a shot?
Just putting the ball in the box. Just put the ball in the box. You don't always need to cut back in and play a 1-2. You don't always need to cut in and shoot. Just put the ball in the box or do something different.
Yeah. First time crossing. That's all you got to do. Let's go on to the subs bench. I'll start with you, Pete. I'm going to give you Isak.
Traded off for something, didn't he, when he come on? Should have started the game, and I don't know why he isn't. He should be in that start lineup for me. Did well to get himself in the game. Had a chance set up for himself. He needs to be playing games and then starting games now, so I'll go with a 6 for Isak.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And Tony, I'm going to give you ASM.
ASM. Again, he came on, he tried to get things going, but not a lot of impact, to be fair. Trying to remember anything he's done great in that game. I can't think of anything. I know he got a 5. I'll give him a standard 5.
Fair enough.
Because he did try to get things going. He did try to, but obviously it's not his fault. You've got to put the ball in the back of the net.
True. Fair enough. Didn't do that much sort of thing. Again, he gets his head down, so I'm taking too much long to release the ball on me. Yeah, I think you're about right, Tony. I can't lie. I'm going to give you Joe Willock.
Joe Willock. You've got to give him a 6. I don't think anyone really deserves a 7. Maybe Lascelles, because he did really well against one of the best strikers in the world. I don't think anyone deserves a 7 other than Lascelles. I'm going to go with a 6 for Joe, just because of when he came on, the impact he had in the midfield and how the game was changing. I think it was a massive improvement from the first hour that we watched. So yeah, he did have an impact, a bit like Max, a bit like Isak, like Pete. Just give him a 6. I have to give Willock a 6 for the same reason. I think when he came on, he made a difference, and it was looking good until the mistake from Chips again. So yeah, for that reason, I'll give him a 6.
Fair enough. 6 out of 10 for Joe. And Jacob Murphy, Pete, I mean, he did a lovely cross late in the second half, and he's offered more than Almiron's done. I'm not going to lie. Surely now, will he be in the first team next week?
We'll wait and see. But yeah, Murphy, I thought, put a very good ball in the box. The only disappointment was no one was there to get on the end of it. I think I'll go with the 6 for Murphy because he only came on within the 77th minute. So I think a 6 for Murphy as well.
Okay. And for you, Toon, I'm going to give you anyhow. Before you give us a rate, I'm going to read what he's been saying after the game. He said, I'm not going to lie. He says, not concerned because, of course, it is. I think if you're still creating them, the Toon boss said, we did today. That's the positive. We didn't create, and I've done this a chance because we're playing against one of the best teams in the world, like Man City, but we had our moments. I back the players over the long term. That will really start again, scoring again, but we need to. That's a fact because the confidence of the team is dependent, or really, that's certainly something for us to reflect on. What do you think of his comments and also team selection, please?
Well, he's right to say that. You couldn't say it's not a concern because it is a concern that we're not scoring goals. I did see his post-match yesterday and I just thought, well, sorry, Eddie, but you've got to change it up. That's what you've got to do. You've got to change it around. This is how a manager earns his corn. And, I mean, I'm not for 1 minute saying let's get rid of Eddie Howe for a start. I'm not saying anything like that whatsoever. You're seeing it on social media and it's absolutely stupidity why people are putting it on there. Look at the progress we've made under Eddie Howe. Yes, I can see what some people are saying, that he's not. If he's not willing to change, then surely something has to be done. But I'm not really thinking about that. All I'm thinking about is Eddie's got to stop playing his favourites, and I think he's going to have to start realising that. But because the team, the problem is, John, because you're basically trying to play the same 11 week in, week out. The same 11 week in, week out is going to tire out eventually. They're going to burn out, and that's why you need to refresh it. So he needs to refresh it. I didn't think his selection was great yesterday, if I'm in all honesty. Didn't want to see Wilson in that team. I was very surprised he was even starting that game. Same with Mickey, I was surprised he started yesterday. I'll give Eddie a 5.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. It's as simple as that. And I have to agree with you there, to everything you say. Your head's stuck in that phone, Pete, from Alan.
It's probably missed our teeth on the phone.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah. Probably. He might ring up and say, I want a Newcastle job in the years to come. Nah, it's not going to happen. Pete, I'm going to give you... Nah, definitely not. I'm going to give you the fans.
Big fans?
Yeah.
Fans, get a straight 10. You know what we're like in terms of atmosphere away from home. We keep going from start to finish. That's what our fan base is all about. 10 easily.
Minus social media.
Yeah. Fair enough. What about we said about the fans, the referee?
Carl. For me, the referee.
Yeah.
I don't really pay much attention there. I just didn't really. Usually I do. Like the Man U game, he stood out. Yeah. I don't know. To be honest with you, I was more just angry. I guess I was just more paid off of the squad and then what was happening there. I don't know. It's a tough one for me, that. We're going with a 5. I'm not going to be, one of them crybabies that blame the officials for the result. No, I'll just give them a 5. I don't think the officials had anything to do with the result.
Okie dokie. 5 out of 10 for the referee. That's our play ratings done. The review is done. I'll be going to wrap up there as well. And we've been there for an hour and a half, which is fantastic. It's great to see Tony back, Carl and Pete back as well. And So we'll start with you, P. Where can you find on the socials where you can give a shout out, mate?
Yes, so my channel is PD Proudlock. Feel free to check out, subscribe. I've done the match review and player ratings today. So feel free to check that out. And subscribe to my channel. Follow me on my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all PD Proudlock as well.
Brilliant stuff. And Kyle, where can you find you on the socials, mate, to give it a shout out for us, mate?
It's usually the same every week, just Twitter, KPOVNUFC. However, I've just recently re-downloaded Instagram for a laugh, and I spent all night last night just crying, like laughing and funny. I'm so glad I did it. It's absolutely hilarious, some of the videos I was on there last night. So I'm glad I have. So I'm on Instagram as well now. It's the same, KPOVNUFC.
Nice one. And Tony, your channel's doing so well and is absolutely fantastic. And I hope you get a follow some before too long. And give us a shout out on your socials, my guy.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at TonyTooney31. Give me a follow and I'll follow you back. Also, you can find me on my channel. It's all black and white TV. I'm currently sitting on 426 subscribers. So things going well there. I've just started a brand new feature on my channel now. So I started that properly today, and it's going to be a feature that will be there every weekend when Newcastle are on playing. So it'll be on a non-match day basically. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. I was at 2 different secret locations today. So if you haven't seen that, go and check them out. I'll be at another one next Saturday. So I could be anywhere. I could be jumping on a train and shooting off somewhere and doing a secret location. But one place I probably won't do is Millwall because I don't fancy getting robbed there or getting, or whatever. I want to come back. So I probably won't do Millwall. Their fans are absolutely awful down there, by the way. But
John,
but yes.
Am I allowed to promote my OnlyFans?
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking, boys. I'm joking.
No.
But so check out my secret location, and that's going to be a weekly thing now. So be sure to check that out. So I may pop up somewhere. I'll give you a few clues, and you can try and guess it if you can guess it. And then that went well today. So hopefully that'll carry on and that'll grow into something different. I'm doing something different from what other channels do. Nobody else is doing it at the moment. So I thought, well, I'm doing it. So let's see what happens on that one. But yeah, feel free to check them out. And any other videos, I've done my match review earlier on as well. I had Rolly on for that. So absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant.
I might even do a vlog on Tuesday night because I may pop down and go and watch Ipswich play on Tuesday night against Accrington and Stanley.
Brilliant stuff. Enjoy yourself there as well, Tony. There's a bit of a change, but good for you. So I hope you enjoy yourself as well. Great shows always. Fantastic. Have a Pete, Tony, and Kyle. Thank you for watching. Much love to all. Thank you, Jez, and much love to you as well, Jules and Leslie as well. Good night to you, Jay. Hope you have a fantastic evening. Let's look at say good night to please support Carl's Orly fans as well. Yep, we shall do. Walk time for Alan. Have a good one, mate. Great stuff. Cheers, guys, as well. And if you like the video, like what you said on mine, the link's in the description there as well. Go and check it out. You can follow us on Twitch. You can follow us on TikTok and Insta. You can also follow us on YouTube and Facebook and on social media, John_NUFC42. And you can check us as well. And on Wednesday, I've got a special show on Wednesday. I've got Lottie, a big Arsenal fans coming on my show on Wednesday, talking about our teams as well. And Lottie made a Newcastle chat as well, of course. And she wants to come on, collab with us as well. Check us out for that. And until then, guys, thank you very much for watching us. And I will do backstage, guys. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. And around about 7:15, I think Rolling may be here. And other guys want to come as well. Until then, guys, thank you for watching the match review and take care.